So, what would you do if you had all the power in the world?
You're listening to...
Jom Sembang, Malaysia?
Okay lah, if I have all the power in the world. Actually, right, power is something that somehow I personally don't relate very well with. Maybe because my entire 37 years of my life is something that I don't chase after. You know how like when you start a career and something, then people always want to be like the team leader lah, the managers, because
yes.
then they have more power to control the direction of the team or the project or whatever is it. I don't think I remember at any point of my life that I crave that kind of power, so to speak lah. So yeah.
Right. But do most people want to climb the ladder for more power? Or do they just want to climb the ladder for climb the ladder's sake?
I don't know.
For money,
but
more,
doesn't mean that, like, for example, I've always been told by my first two bosses, I'm this person who's like, okay, if I'm given a role as a writer, it's like whatever the editor say, I will jalan, that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
But if the editor cannot make up her freaking mind, I will still like, oh, not my business, but it's your power to lead the team, not me, so then why do I even bother, right?
Right.
Then my boss said, the moment she removed the editor, I said, okay, this issue, let's say July issue publication, is entirely up to you because the editor is on 1 month leave. And he says he see a different transformation where I just go and, okay, now it's this. Like, I can make decisions that
Yeah.
he once thought I couldn't make because I always had no opinion or something like that. So I think for me, it's when I'm given a power, I can like go really well with it, lead well and stuff like that. But
Okay.
if I don't have the power, I also don't have the, how to say, the energy or the motivation. So I come lah, let's go and seek the power and change my position. I'm not that kind of
Right.
person.
Okay. So is it more of an ownership thing?
Some sort like that.
So if you are leading the project, then you can provide the direction for it. Then you're like, okay lah, let's run with
Correct.
this vision. If not, then I just follow lor.
Correct.
Otherwise, you end up
I
fighting.
mean,
with
I
other
might
people.
contribute or whatever, but then I know I'm not the decision maker.
Ah.
So for me, is once I made the decision maker, I will listen or whatever. But at the end of the day, I made a decision and I know the consequences, and I can live with it. Yeah.
I see.
But if I'm not the leader, then you made the decision lah, because the consequences is you ma. You are the powerful one, the power one. you
Understand.
see.
Understand.
So yeah. So I just realized in my life I've not really been craving any sorts of authority or power lah. It's not
Okay.
something that I pursue.
Interesting. Okay, so for myself, I am pretty sure I've never like wanted, any kind of position or power, authority, that kind of thing. It seems like too much work lah. But sometimes it's just kind of not say given to you, but it's like, would you take up this role, right? It's offered to you, and you feel that, oh, maybe I'm in a position to do good lah with that thing lah, and then I will take it lah. Sometimes I'm like, yo, why did I do this lah? But at the back of my mind, because I really weigh it, because these kind of roles, right, it's going to take a lot of time, and if you don't do anything with it, it's irresponsible lah.
Some sort lah. Now it makes it sound that both of us are very not motivated to run after any power, authority or whatsoever not.
Okay, but right, the place I differ is this. If I'm in a project, I would prefer to have a say in the direction. Not so much because I power crazy, but because I'm worried about the end quality. So let's say it's a production.
Okay.
And they say, okay, just come and sing. I would be concerned because I don't know what the end quality is going to be like. So for example,
So you must see the bigger vision.
seeing the vision is something else. But if you don't know that the people...
Having a say in the vision?
Not the vision, the end product.
Okay.
So quality control, QC is extremely important to me. And if you are like at the bottom of the chain, right, then you have no say in the QC. Correct. So I'm a singer, right? The way you sing, what you sing and the end product can be very, very different, because now there's a lot of technology involved. So let's say you sing, wow, so feeling already, for example.
Okay.
And then it goes through a lot of processing, and you don't know what the engineers are going to do. And the engineers, different producers have different
point of views,
preferences.
correct.
So the end product can actually come out very flat and lifeless. So
Alright.
that's an example of why I'm worried about that lah. So in a sense, you know, in terms of QC, I can be a bit OCD lah.
I
So in
think
terms
that's
of
totally
that's
fair
power
lah, especially if the QC reflects on our own skills lah. I think it's quite important to make sure that, you know,
the end product
the
is
end product
decent,
reflects our
right?
skill lah.
Exactly.
Right? And not like, why she's so terrible, and you know, or something
Yeah,
like that.
how come sound like that? So which has happened a few times. And the worst thing is the products that you are not so proud of, those are the ones that get played more often. I don't know why. It's
It's all about the bigger vision and where things go. Like I remember the first book I wrote, my first novel, the writers only have the power to control the text. How is it being presented, what font is used, whether you like the layout, everything is like not there lah. You're not given the power to decide on it. Which I thought was like a bit weird lah, because why? Actually it reads very nice, but then the way you typeset or layout suddenly become not so nice reading, it affect the reading experience.
true.
So to me that was a clear example of how sometimes I feel that I might want a certain power in certain project just to make sure that my skills or my contributions is presented in a very proper way lah. Yeah.
True. But what would you think about power in an organizational setting? So we've both been in NGOs.
Alright.
What's been your experience in that?
I think power only makes sense to me when there is teamwork. Okay, so for example, like I was running a society the last time, the Writer Society, right?
Yeah.
It was very hard because everyone was thinking like, oh, Gina's been there for 5 years and stuff like that. And we have EXCO member who don't change because we really believe in it. But the whole society was moving a bit slower than what we expected, or everyone was trying to have 101 comments. So the idea is that the fact is there's not many people who's stepping up to do work. So even if you have the power, but you don't have the people to do it for you, it's almost like useless lah.
Yeah.
There's only so much power you can have, right?
That's true. That's true.
Especially if you're serving in an NGO or something.
Yeah.
It's harder because it's not like, hey, I gotta pay you to do this. Like, hey, I got no money to pay you to do this. So
That's
how we manage that power or the authority given to us is different depending on the settings you are in.
Betul. So yeah, teamwork. I think for me, right, that power and autonomy thing is because I run my own company, right? So I have a Sendirian Berhad, and I find it very easy to move. You know, want to do, just do. But when it comes to an organization where you talked about teamwork, which I appreciate, but sometimes when there's too many people in decision making, I find myself very lost. You know, it's like, okay, I want to do this, but alamak, then I have to report back to
Answer
board
4 5
or
tips.
this one, and it's not really clear, you know how. But if I'm gonna wait until 3 weeks, that means every step have to wait for 3 weeks or So sometimes I suppose then power is a good thing, you know, if you were like on the top of the chain.
If I'm ever given the power, then I will make sure I empower my team member to do more things so that I don't have to micromanage and create tapes for them. But of course,
That
it
is true.
all depends on how much trust I have.
That is true.
You know, so it's to me, I think the simplest thought when I was young was like, oh, if you have power, they can control all things, then you are good lah. Like you're playing God lah. But actually, not that simple . Because at the end of the day, the one that we work with are humans, and humans are not necessarily going to follow every single order that you have lah.
Correct.
So power comes with different factors, I think.
Correct. Okay, talking about power, how would you view dissent? So in an organization, there will be people who disagree with you,
Okay.
and sometimes I think it's a good thing. But then you also have people who disagree about everything and just makes everything really slow and annoying and impossible to work with, you know. So yeah, what's your take on that?
I think if I'm the one having power, then you can disagree all you want. I'm just going ahead lah.
What?
I mean, at the end of the day, being in position means that okay, for example, if I'm positioned, a good leader should be listening to everything, but at the end of the day, someone has to make the decision.
Correct.
And not let it go round and round and round and round and round.
Yeah.
And then making that decision and then owning the consequences that come with it. I think that is the responsibility that comes with power.
Okay, so what if they're forever making a hoo-ha, like every meeting, right, be sing lah. Or you go and make a statement already, then they go and make some other statement outside. And like, it's just making things super messy.
That's the challenge of being a leader lah. It's forever one. Every position we go, every decision we make can never somehow meet everybody's expectation or needs. And then chances are the one that is against you are the loudest one.
That is very, very
The one who
true.
support you is like quietly support you, and who texts you quietly, hey, that's good. I'm like, don't tell me that's good. Just tell the whole room is good.
Actually, yes. So I was at this forum. It was a Meet Your MPs forum, and one of the MPs actually said, the power of the voice is actually very important. So you will always hear the dissenters, the people who are not happy, making more noise
Then the happy one.
than the happy ones. But actually, if you are happy about something or proud of something, or hey, this is going well, actually it's important to also raise your voice. Not raise your voice, but to
raise and
raise
say,
that.
hey, that's good, something like that.
Yeah, because otherwise you don't get hurt. And if there's two opposing
Correct.
voices, then it's always the other side which is going to be really loud. And the other side doesn't have to be the people who are different from us. It's just the other opinion, right?
Correct.
And we're like, oh, but, I'm okay lah, either way. And those voices will be the one that eventually rule the world lah. Because, social media right nowadays.
Yeah, that's very, very true. All the voices in the world.
But talking about voice lah, I want to tell you this story. A few years back, we were watching. I had a gig in Penang, right? And ngam, it happened that night was the day that there was gonna be badminton finals.
I remember that.
You remember?
Yes.
It was Lee Chong Wei and was it Linda Na?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was both of them.
So the organizer said, hey, badminton so everybody will want to watch,
Okay,
correct?
yeah.
So they said, we don't want to compete, right, your show with the badminton game, the finals.
Correct.
So I said, okay, so what do you propose? And then he said, why not you do a set and then watch the game and then do the second set? Because the intermission, not intermission, but between the first game and the second game or the third game, there's not enough time to do a set lah, right?
Okay.
So it was okay sandwich lah. So okay, I'll do one like
Opening
and then watch the thing and then close. Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember watching, and you can feel, right, the entire vibe in the room, right? It's like, wow, support. And then, because I'm the type, right, I will organize my set list according to the moment.
All right.
So even if I've planned songs 1 to 10, right, I won't stick to it, die, no matter what happens, right? So I will actually have that flexibility, and my team knows to say, okay, hey, this time we can't start with fast song, let's start with something slow, because everybody's mood is not at that space.
Understand.
So I had planned this thing, and of course I planned if we win lah, more like a rah-rah thing, right? Like, yeah, we and celebratory kind of closing thing. Then as we were playing, right, he started losing. It was like, oh, he was behind, and I thought, alamak, do I change my set now? Is that like giving up hope? Is that like, Anyway, long story short was, he lost lah, okay? And in that last few points when I'm like, I think really, really chances of winning is really very slim already. So I changed the set list, right? And I remember so clearly going up, you could feel the mood, of that cafe. It was like, oh. Somebody even stood up and said, I'm sorry, I'm leaving, I cannot take it. And I walked up the stage, and I started with a slow song. I think it was Fix You or something. It was one of those, cry song. Like, come, let's all just cry together, because you could just feel everybody was in that same, in the bus, and I was, because I had the mic.
Yep.
It was like I was driving the bus.
Okay.
And wherever I brought them, I could have brought them to depression. But what I wanted to do was help everybody to live in a better place. Yes, we lost, but hey, we're together in this, and things will look better when the sun comes up, that kind of thing lah. And that was one of the moments, right, that I felt so much power in my hands. I don't know if you've ever felt that way before, but I've never felt power that strong. That's
There
strong.
you go. That's why Juwita Subito is the professional when it comes to doing all this performance and singing, because it's not just singing. Music has the power to change the way a person feel by making them feel less alone.
That is true.
So yeah, let's go to our sponsors for today.
Today's episode is brought to you by 440 Records because we believe in the power of music. So to find out more about us, check out www.440records.com. That's 4 F-O-U-R, 40 F-O-R-T-Y, records, you know how to spell, right? With an S.com.
Okay, back to the episode. So recently, right, I don't know about you, the newsfeed has been flooded with some certain news that make me think about relating back. Just now we were talking about power in the earlier part, right? What if you're given a choice between power and money?
Oh.
I mean, sometimes they come together, sometimes they don't, you know. For example, if I offer you 1 million ringgit, or you can be the CEO of a company but you don't get salary, which one will you go for?
Actually, usually I would say power. But when you ask it like that, I might just take the money. You know why? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, man, a lot of work.
Unless it's a company that I really feel passionate about lah.
Okay.
Then it might be worth all that lah. But if it's just some random company, then I think I'll take the money.
Okay, fair enough. Because I've been thinking about that, and I realized that, okay, if I'm offered money or power, I'll take the money, because there are a lot of things that I want to do that might not have any relation with power.
Okay.
All right. But if the power offered to me is something that I'm passionate about,
Yeah.
then yeah, I might actually go through that whole power responsibility thing just because let's say, I want to make a difference in the woman community.
Yeah.
And then you offer me, wow, woman minister or something. Maybe lah, okay, because hey, it's the only chance I can make a difference.
Yeah.
Because even with money, I can't.
Yes.
You know.
True. Well, depends lah. No, with money, you can do it a different way. You can lobby. You can fund things that a lot of things about politics is because money is funding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then
the
the thing
stakeholders.
is, politics, if you're given the authority to make certain decision that a normal person cannot make,
then you can just straight away do lah. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Because
correct.
even if you have money, then you can't say I want to do this if the prime minister don't agree to it.
Yeah.
You know, you get what I mean?
It makes me wonder though, if you have power, it also depends on the budget, right?
yeah lah, true lah. So at the end of the day, right, it's two factors that is affecting one another.
Yes, they are interlocked. If you got power, you can make money. And if you got money, you can wield power.
In a way.
in a
But
way
I do feel that if you have money, it's a bit harder. You're a bit harder compared to having power. Because at the end of the day, there are some power you cannot buy with money. So at least with power, you can go like, hey, I need money. I'm in charge of you. Give me money. I think, yeah, in that case, might be less stressful.
yeah. And the boss, right? Give me the budget.
Yeah.
But seriously, if I had the choice at this particular phase of my life, right, I seriously would take the money because I don't know, maybe it's a point of time where you just want a break, then you can go on a holiday, you can go and chill. But if there's a project that you want to do and you have the money, then you can just go ahead and do it, right? Then you don't have to worry about where to get the money. Then you don't even have to have that role. You don't even have that position to do that thing that you want to do. You can just do it because everything can be done by people.
Yeah. So if you're rich and you have a good intention, wow, go out and do something great lah.
Yeah. If not, then find somebody who has a cause.
And give the person money.
Yeah.
So that the person can do something great lah.
Instead of worrying about what's going to happen to my money.
But actually,
Yeah.
right, talking about that, right, I have known a few friends who every Christmas they will come. These are new friends lah.
Yeah.
When I know them, it was new lah. Maybe like 2-year-old new, not really close kind of friend. And they'll kind of say, "Hey Gina, there's a few things that you do that I really like. Nah, here's a bunch of money and go and do it." Then she said, "Actually, I always wanted to give to charity, but then I don't know which charity I can trust." Or don't or misuse my money,
Yeah.
or don't use it properly, or they steal or something like that. So even though she is rich, she said she has a problem deciding where to put the
Yes,
money, even though
yeah.
she wants to give it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's quite interesting lah. Money problem.
Yeah lah. Yeah. So again lah, the people who have the power know how to market themselves well, even if they're not doing anything sometimes, to get the funds for it.
Correct.
And a lot of times you see the people who are doing a lot of good work, because they don't have the money to get a marketing team
Correct,
or a comms team, right? So they're just so doing the work all the time. And I think finding that balance is important.
Yeah. So to all you out there, I'm asking you the same question. If I'm giving you 1 million ringgit or a position in the government that lets you change whatever you want to change, policies, which one would you choose?
Tell us.
Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysian friends who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Juwita Suito and Gina Yap Layong.